Hey everybody, welcome back to KDA Podcast. Today I have a special interview. This is actually with the ownership team of 16-bit Genesis. Over here on my left, we've got Attilio, and down below we have Elvar. How are you fellas today or tonight?
You go first.
Okay. Doing pretty good. Can't complain too much. Just had a unfortunately quick weekend, and now we're going right back into the work week tomorrow.
Unfortunately, it always happens too slow or too long. It goes too quick. The weekend goes too quick. The work week goes too slow.
Yeah.
What about you, Elvar? Elvira, how are
I
you?
wish I had a weekend. I mean, it's been 3 months straight of just working. Well, not necessarily working, but just schoolwork. But
You're in the military, correct?
yes,
What do you do in the military?
as of right now, I teach new trainees that join the army the
Okay.
basics of tanks. So the M1 A2 Abrams, and then yeah, basics of maintaining, driving, loading, all the things that they would need to know as a crew for both drivers and loaders to actually play their position once we send them to the line unit.
Gotcha. Okay, and we know Attilia does nothing but tell us what to do, so that's
And
that is okay.
he
Part
gets
of
it from me. So
part of the reason that I wanted to bring you guys on is just we wanted to get a more personal, in depth look at the inside of the company now that we've decided to partner together. So I've changed almost everything to like 16-bit KDA or anything like that. Happy to be on board. So what do you expect from like the people who are coming into the organization? Attilio.
Like the ones from KDA, like the podcast, or
Well, anybody who would join, whether they be tryouts for the league team, fighting scene.
okay.
What are you looking for?
Yeah. So me and Elvire, we had this mission statement since the very beginning. So there's three of us co-owners. Jay Side is the other one, couldn't be with us today, but at the same time, it started off as me and Elvire. We were the original two co-founders of 16-bit esports back in 2018. Actually, our 3 month anniversary is in 4 days. And we've always strived to be a organization of inclusion and also giving chances to people who, have always wanted to be a part of something that, was bigger. Or because, I did some esports back. Me and Elvire actually, we both played for a team called Ulfhednar, and then we were just like, why don't we do this ourselves? Because mostly we wanted a League of Legends team to like cheer for, but yeah, we just want a place that everyone can, be included and feel part of something bigger.
Okay. What about you, Elvar? What was your idea when you first created the organization, and what do you want new people to expect who are coming in?
so as of right, well, first starting off, it was more like, hey, sounds like a pretty cool idea with the two of us type thing, and it's why not make something more out of something we already enjoy doing. And now, since we went off and actually made our own org after being a part of one for a brief time, now we're just like, all right, well, let's actually start pulling in people with the same mindset and wants to play for an organization. Granted, it may be new, but that's how everything starts as new. Players start from new organizations from the bottom up, and we let players and other staff members or people that come in to our org know that as well. And we want this to be like the place where they develop those skills, where it's either as a player or management member, but as to also help expand our outreach to just everyone as a whole. So just to be known for our players, our organization. Everyone gets their own credit for what they put in, what they do, etc., and they get back out whatever they get in when we
Yep.
get to that point.
Absolutely. Getting back out what you put in, that's a good strategy, especially like if you're investing in something, if you're out there, sponsors. Um, so, did this start as a fighting game team, or how did this organization actually start?
Yes, no.
Yes, no.
It was
So
yes because it was just two of us
okay,
on a
so
Smash Bros. Wanted to play Smash Bros.
so yes, because it was me and Elvire playing Smash Brothers. Wii U at the time. I think Ultimate was about to come out, but not yet. Um, and then I remember that December I was visiting from Japan because I was living in Japan at the time, and that's actually when 60 started. It I really wanted a League of Legends team
Mm.
on Ulf Hednar, our old esports team, but they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't want to do this right now. We used to have one." I was like, "But I want one." So that's also part of the reason. Like I said, we split apart and we kind of one thanked them, of course, for everything they did, but fighting game, but also a League of Legends team, an amateurs League of Legends team back in 2018, and we also brought in a few more fighting game players. One of our longest running players, who's still with us today, is Brown, and he plays a mean Wii Fit trainer.
Hey.
So
Oh, okay. I was thinking We Fit, like training like the game. Like, okay, that's cool. There's a competitive sport called We
yes,
Fit. All right.
but in Smash Brothers.
Okay. See, I'm completely illiterate to that side of the business. Elvar, for you, when he was in Japan, what was that like working with him?
So it was mostly sidelining things for the most part, but it was more of like I don't want to say managing the owner type of thing, but that's essentially what it came down to is providing my input, tell them, hey, bad idea, good idea, hold up type of thing. Gotta make sure we're trying to focus on the same things and not repeat the same issues that we've constantly repeated back then.
Hmm.
But now we've definitely don't repeat those same mistakes anymore. But it's pretty much been like a sideline manager when we were in both NA and Japan.
Yeah, because like just to piggyback off that, each one of us kind of have our own roles as owners. Like I'm kind of the big picture um, community and event aspect, and Adrian or Elvire, excuse me, is more of the. Uh,
I get meticulous and um, more of the planning and keep it real type of thing.
he will fire you.
I have
Okay, so
fired another owner at one point, so
Oh gosh, yeah.
I keep it real across all levels. So,
We will
that's
not talk about that anymore. By the way, that
but
that's important though. You need someone to be able to daydream, and you need somebody to be able to have their feet on the ground. It's one allows for the other, and
mhm.
yeah.
it's a
But I
good
fly so
partnership.
much, we need two. So J side also holds me down sometimes. So
Gotcha. You're very not what's the word? Not buoyant.
isn't it buoyant? Yeah, that's what
It
I was
could
thinking. It's
be,
like
yeah.
buoyant. I've got a lot
Buoyancy.
of buoyancy.
You're
Yeah,
very aerodynamic.
yeah.
Okay. So when I started looking into the organization when Bear brought this up, I couldn't find anything, absolutely anything, other than the 16-bit tournaments in Japan for, I believe, Wild Rift. What was that like running actual tournaments?
Oh, so this was when Elvire was busy.
No, that was all you in Japan, and
That was
I
all
can't
me in Japan. Yeah, you couldn't also help because it was
I couldn't do
difficult.
anything. It was a
Yeah,
whole time difference, but
yeah,
I could just watch from the sidelines. Like
yeah.
everything is, I think for me was a 14-hour difference from what they were doing.
Roughly, yeah. It.
But it was all Attilio and J side. That's where we actually started bringing in J side. We
Yeah.
actually had a separate server that we actually still currently have for those whole
Nothing gets.
events.
Nothing happens on it, but
Nothing happens, but people are still
people
putting
post on
out.
it though.
People
Yeah.
still posting it. They're always looking for scrims, but how it
Mm,
was for Japan, just from my side of it, I know Attilio has a lot more to do with it. It was a constant. I want to say almost every other day there was tournaments going on or people coming in,
I was
trying
draining.
to. Yeah, a lot of streaming people trying to come in and sign up for tournaments and whatnot, and then um, it was multiple tournaments. I know we had a couple of teams that we've had out there as well. Again, Attilio knows the whole side and story of that, but
Yeah.
it was a lot.
Yeah, and I can go into a little bit more on that. It's so we ran a tournament series called Bit Wars, which we are bringing back, but in different fashions. Stay tuned for January, by the way. Um, maybe not for Wild Rift at the moment, but for other games, of course, because we are also a fighting game, um, you know, organization. As like 16-bit esports, like the fighting game community is more about, like, I guess, just the name 16-bit esports. Meanwhile, like our Wild Rift division is more like 16-bit Genesis.
Yes.
Wasn't always like that, but that is how it is now. But the tournaments in Japan and Southeast Asia, because it was a combination of a lot of those, man, so draining, but so rewarding, because I was able to make a lot of connections with professional organizations out there like Next Play Esports and Shogunate Gaming and Unselstuff Gaming, which some of these teams have like professional League of Legends teams that are franchised in like Japan and stuff like that. And it's crazy to think that that we'd ever work with those kind of like organizations and even get them to participate in our tournaments and even play against them. Like,
Yeah.
I had to sub in one of our tournaments. I played in one
How'd that go?
against Unsold Stuff Gaming in Japan, and we got throttled. However, because I don't play ADC also, so I had to sub in for ADC as well. But man, it was crazy. And it's still crazy. It still blows my mind that I was able, with the help of, like, of course, Elvar and J-Side and everyone a part of that. It's crazy. Like, I know I keep saying crazy, but it's crazy.
Yeah, you don't realize what you've accomplished until you look back.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are coming, I read on Discord that you guys are implementing speedrunning for Wild Rift. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So, I feel like King yourself would be able to explain that a little bit better than me.
To be honest, yeah, I definitely think I know I've read on it, but I haven't touched it at all during recent times.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there. I just forgot to y'all off.
I was like, yeah.
No, I think it'd be pretty cool. Someone's actually submitted a submission for fastest percent any death by enemy fountain, and I think it's going to be meta. It's Aurelion Soul with boots and Flash and Ghost. So
Mobies, right?
Flash, Ghost, and E.
Oh wait, no, because you can't get an upgraded boots because it's like
level 1. Yeah, so you got to run regular boots. So he thinks he can get faster timing, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh man,
it's a work in progress.
Because when you say speedrun to me, I think of games like Mario 64 or Legend of Zelda. I don't typically think of like League of Legends and Mario. I know it exists.
If it's a video game, it could be speedrun. Okay.
True.
Yes.
Very true. Very, very true.
Yes, like the all-female team in Russia that had the world record for the fastest game loss.
I remember this.
But
they also had the longest game. They also had the longest game because, or I think one of the longest games because they just wouldn't let them lose, and they were just like trying to get like the. It was very rude, and I think that the team they faced got penalized and like fined too.
Really?
Because of that,
Huh.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine back in the day when the whole meta of League of Legends was wait till 60 minutes and then fight.
Yeah,
Back in
that's
the day.
the Korean meta, pretty much. The long and methodical meta. I much prefer the Chinese way of playing, which is just attack, and which is why I like Wild Rift, because it's all about kills, right?
Absolutely. It's very fast paced. So what do you think a typical day in our organization looks like?
Oh, well, that depends on the division, I suppose. But I'll just kind of go through mine. I mean, I look through all the Discords, seeing what's going on, as well as just look out to see if I got any, emails and stuff like that, as well as maybe reaching out to some potential sponsorships, as well as reaching out to some of our event co-organizers. I also check in to see if we have any, players we have to talk to about contract extensions or even what was and also I got to check on like, does any of our players have birthdays today? Do we have any results today of that we have to post online, which used to be all me, but now I'm so thankful to have you, King, where I can like, hey, help,
Just
please,
Just do this.
please.
Figure it out. Just send me a proofread copy and I'll approve it or not.
Yeah, and then also it used to, because like I know I'm like saying what I do now, and like I kind of relay more things now, but it used to just be, and this is how I burnt out a lot, was I'm doing it myself, doing it myself, doing it myself. But now, gosh, we're so much more staff, and it
Oh
makes
yeah.
it so much better. Like, gosh, I can't even praise Bonsai and Bar as much as I can right now because they are just killing. And also now, the recent addition of the coach Stacks as well.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and Mimi.
It used to just be us literally being like, hey, if we're gonna make a team for this, one of us should be on that team type of thing so we
'Cause we can't
can
trust
manage
everyone.
and run it, because it's just team gets formed and the team decides to leave together, team gets formed, team disbands because there's someone super toxic on it and whatnot, and it's
Yep.
just zero personnel to actually properly manage it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
yeah.
Officially, because you mentioned Bonds and Barge, do you want to go down the list of management who is currently working for the team?
Let me click on the official 16-bit Discord because I need to make sure I include everyone and not just the Wild Rift staff, though more or less it is the Wild Rift staff. Because fighting games are very autonomous with the players and whatnot. But so I guess I'll just start with the owners. It's me, Elvar, and J-Side, of course, like we've mentioned millions and millions of times before. And then we have Bar as our official Wild Rift manager.
That is
And as
Barjabita.
Barjabita. That's
Yep.
right. And then we have Bonsai on assistant manager. And then we have, I don't know why I haven't given you the role yet on the main Discord, but I will. We have King as or Kingmaker officially as our social media manager. And yeah, I don't know why I haven't given you that. And I believe also it's just Stacks as our Wild Rift coach. And currently that is our staff.
Did you say Mimi?
Oh my goodness, yes, Mimi Neko as our
Chill.
other assistant manager. She's kind of like, so how our assistant managers work, she also lives in Japan. So we've got like a 24/7 staff for Barjabita to be able to talk and work with. So it works out quite well.
I really appreciate his work ethic. Him and
gosh, same.
Bonds have done so much to push like the Wild Rift team forward.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I also want to give an honorable mention to Rengar. So
Yeah.
Okay.
he's
Also,
yep, go ahead.
well, I no, go ahead, finish first, because I actually have a few more staff that are actually on the other side of the different divisions.
Yes.
So we have some actual official casters under 16-bit as well that are a part of our staff. They don't get as much limelight, but we have for Shaky Banks, who he actually also resides in Japan. He does, if we ever do events in Japan, we contact him, as well as if we do ones in the US, he'll also try for fighting games. We also have Fire Blaster, who also does it, and Captain Biscuits, who is technically still officially affiliated by us, but he does League of Legends shoutcasting, actually, and we actually might pull him back in for a Wild Rift one, as well as the fact that he used to be the coach for our League of Legends team back in the day. So
Gotcha. Do you want to go down list of sponsors?
so currently they're all partnerships.
Yeah.
One of them potentially maybe more. Can't really talk more about that at the moment.
Okay.
But
Juicy details incoming.
hopefully. But currently we are partnered with 3 different companies at the moment. We have Glitch Energy, which is a energy supplement drinking thing. It's that one's based in Florida, I believe, and it's really, really good. I've actually done the sample bottle shaker bundle thing. And it's actually pretty good, except for one that tasted like just melted American popsicles, and I just didn't like it. Didn't like it. But the sour fruit ones are pretty good.
I liked them all.
You liked them all?
I liked
Okay.
them all.
I didn't try the bubblegum one because I let my roommate try it because
What?
they're also going to order some.
What are they?
They're just essentially powdered energy packs
I think
in a
G
sense.
Fuel, but not G Fuel.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then we also have Aporio Custom, which provides at least this one. It's on this side, actually. Man, everything's like reversed when I'm looking at this screen.
Does this one
That one, we don't talk about that one. Aporio Custom makes all of our merch. We have everything from t-shirts to polos to hoodies to sandals, as well as we got some awesome mouse pads too, which also have our mascot Ido, which is our anime robot 16-bit heroine of 16-bit esports.
Okay,
And then
yeah.
we also have
Rogue Energy.
Matchery. No, Rogue we don't really do anymore
What?
because we have glitch energy.
All right.
Hashtag glitch energy. But no, the last one is Matcherino, which is a crowdfunding tournament website where we actually have special codes and crowdfunding that help us get like, for example, if we set a page up because we are a affiliated team, if you just simply retweet the post we make, it gets money added to the pot of
Gotcha.
our tournaments. So,
Oh well, why didn't you tell me that? I would have retweeted everything.
well, this was before I knew you, so that's why.
Gotcha, man.
But
All
now
the,
we know.
all
But
the
now we
10
know.
followers I have on Twitter.
Hey, man, 10 is more than 0.
10 is more than 0. It's 10 more than I had yesterday.
Oh,
Exponential growth is what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that was one of the things I was curious about with the sponsorships and how that worked. But really, Elvar, why I can't get it right. You were talking about Ringar Boy. You wanted to give a shout out. Did we
Oh yeah, no, that when we were listening to our staff and personnel, because he's put
Yep.
in a good amount of time as well. Initially coming in as a tryout player and then stepping up as a coach, while also unintentionally managing on the side as well. So he ended up taking a lot of collateral responsibilities on his own, and then sadly started burning them out. But also him himself saying, "Hey, this isn't what he's here for," but like he was glad to help us and whatnot. But like after a certain point, and situations where I had to step out for months because of the scores, he said he wanted to go and worry about his own group that he's been a part of before joining us. So it's not like
yeah.
he left us for someone else. But
Yeah, that was one of the initial posts I saw on Reddit was Ringar Boy looking for everything for the organization. So shout out to him, even though we've only spoken once, maybe even not
Sure.
even that. I can't even remember. Um, Tell us the fighting side, because I know a lot about the League of Legends side. The fighting side, what just happened?
Hey yo, so yeah, I'd love to talk about that because I was the one live tweeting everything, which I love doing now. I've really loved doing that. And Jay's side even reached out to me. He's like, dude, do more of that. Make sure you spell everything right, but just please do more of that. He's like, it's really good and it really keeps people engaged. But so recently, I believe a couple weeks ago, it wasn't last weekend, was it? Maybe it was. No, it was last weekend. Last weekend was a little known tournament. It's actually a big tournament called CEO. It's a major tournament for fighting games where the main kind of theme of that is like wrestling cage matches, which is really, really cool because a lot of gamers are also like, wrestling fans from back in the day. And they even do things where once you get to the top 8, they let people like walk in with their own songs as well as like these special interests and stuff. And they play the finals in a cage, like in a cage match. And it's really cool. But we had 3 players participate in CEO this year. We had 2 for Smash Ultimate, Ling Ling and Zamba. And then we had 1 for Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, Mega Isaac X. And man, was it a weekend for 16-bit esports. Even though when we got top 8 in one of the games, they're like 16-bit gaming. And I was like, I'm going to hit you. It says 16-bit esports. It's even on the jersey he's wearing, but I digress.
I didn't catch it. I was just like, yeah, let's go 16-bit gaming. Heck yeah.
I know.
I was too busy trying to figure out like the Power Zords coming in or the Mega Zords. I was like, what the heck am I watching?
So I love watching Battle for the Grid, especially when it's players that know what they're doing. Because like I watch myself, I can do something decent, but I watch Mega Isaac. My gosh, I'm just like, so pretty much if he drops this combo, he loses. But if he doesn't drop this combo, he wins. But it's gosh, it's so fun and crazy and nutty to watch, as I love to say. But yeah, Mega Isaac X, he actually also before this tournament he placed 3rd place in the official Power Rangers Battle for the Grid League that was held by the company that made the game, and now he got 2nd place. Gut-wrenching finals, unfortunately, because he was on winner's side, which it is double elimination, so he actually lost in winners twice. to get second place, but still proud of him regardless. And then moving over to Smash Ultimate, Ling Ling, our flagship player, pretty much, he got top 24, I believe, technically 15th place. Don't quote me on that, because I
Out
could
of
be
how many
forgetting some stuff.
people?
That was like 997 for Smash Ultimate. It was a lot of
Yeah.
players. And not only did we get one player, we got both of our players that participated were in top 24. And Zomba even further, getting top 5. So
And he's young, right?
Zomba is 16 years old.
Yeah, that's the
16,
beginning of his
and he's like
career.
the second best in New York. So
And that's saying a lot because New York's a huge or highly populated area.
Yeah.
So.
And then Ling Ling's actually the either first or second in Connecticut as well. So we have like top regional players, and we also have, unfortunately, 2 other players that didn't make it, named Mr. L and Pokelam, who also play in the same area as Zomba, because like they all kind of knew each other. And I asked Ling Ling initially, all right, we're looking for new Smash players. Who do you recommend? He's like, these people, and I'm like, all right. So we picked them up, and even though Pokelam and Mr. L have been doing more online stuff, they've been still placing pretty well also. And we hope to start putting out more results for them as well. But yeah, things have been pretty good for Smash Ultimate for us. Battlefield Grid is awesome, and I've also talked to Jay Side recently. Elvar, just snipping this by you now, but we're looking for other fighting game players.
Oh.
Elvar's like, wait a minute. And guess what? I'm not the one who brought this up initially. Jason's like, dude, look for more. And it's because of something that also appeared to us recently this past week that we can't talk about yet, that I might have mentioned a little
That
bit
makes
earlier.
sense. That does make sense.
So that is the reason
Okay.
why Jason mentioned to me, hey, maybe we should start looking for some other players.
Okay.
So obviously, League of Legends or Wild Rift is a team competitive environment. When you go over to the fighting side, what is that like? Do y'all have a coach for the fighting team? Did they just
No.
kind of
No.
train themselves?
It is. Yeah, essentially. So it is all individual based, but
Mhm.
those players actually know what they need to look for and do.
Yeah.
And like I'm talking about the minuscule stuff of literal frame counting, like what moves does what and what frames, invincibility frames, etc. Input lag. Like they know all this stuff already, and they can implement it for any character that they play. They just gotta actually know the hitboxes for those
Yeah.
characters. So
Gotcha. So it's very
every
self-sustaining.
they are extremely.
And it's why fighting games, though, like as Elvira said, you have to like know all these frame stuff. It's why, as an esport, to an extent, it's very niche, because you do have to put in a lot of work. Be a professional fighting game player, not just a professional fighting game player, but one that can actually make it a living career. Because it's not league based like a lot of team games where they're like, oh, we have leagues that we can participate in and get guaranteed, funds from. You're making it month by month depending how you place. And if you're not getting top 8, you're not making money. Right? So it's a lot harder, but we're hoping that'll change a little bit with this little company named Riot Games.
A small independent indie
Small
company.
independent company,
Yes.
out of California.
Yes.
They're creating this game called Project L,
Ooh.
which is a fighting game for League of Legends that looks very, very promising.
Really nice.
Gosh, if it's a tag game, I'm going to hurt someone, though, because I'm just like, what's harder than learning one character?
So
More than one character.
it looks like a mimic of Ultimate, or not Ultimate, but Marvel's Capcom 3, where it is a tag based type of game, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've seen at least a trailer or a little
Yeah.
small gameplay of it where they had those hot, not necessarily tag ins, but like assist tag ins type of thing.
Right. And it might also be kind of like, I've recently been playing this game as Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, which, if you like Blaze Blue, if you like Rawubby from the Rooster Teeth, and if you like Persona, they're all in the same game for some reason.
I have no idea what any of those are.
That's fine.
But
Ruby,
I will say,
Ruby, RWBY, which is a TV series that Rooster Teeth, a company that made Red versus Blue, also created, which is a Halo series, something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. We are being paged. So
We are
not to
being patient.
go too much longer on this. Definitely, we've definitely talked about doing like crossover gaming between the fighting guys and the League of Legends team. How do you want to approach that?
So this is something, yeah, me and you have talked about, and we've also talked about with the other Wild Rift staff. And I need to mention to the fighting game players at some point, but we are
Surprise!
looking
Now is the
to,
time.
hey, surprise, we're looking to do kind of like just like show matches and stuff, or even just having fun with our players and creating more of a bond between the different divisions. Not like, oh, we're just the fighting game players, and even more so the fighting game players, because even within the fighting games, you have the separate games. So it's like it's already. I don't want to say divided, but it's already kind of divided.
Like they may be a Smash Bros based team,
Right.
but there's Smash Bros Ultimate, Smash Bros Force,
Melee.
like they're
And then
all the different
also
levels of Smash
Power
Bros. And
Rangers and Street Fighter and oh yeah, forgot to mention we have Team Fight Tactic players too. I guess
Oh
it
yeah,
doesn't.
that's right.
We actually have one participating in a league next month, so that's actually pretty exciting. In North America, so people tend to actually. I think we tend to forget sometimes, but we're trying. It's because we haven't really heard too much from our players. I think they've been taking a break or been busy, but
Gotcha.
yeah, we want to get the players to hang out and meet with a little bit more. So we're maybe thinking about doing things in the future like 1v1 ARAM tournaments or even um, Among Us, because, everyone plays Among Us at least once, right? And, just maybe even having some of the Wild Rift players, if they have a Switch for some reason, play some
I
Smash
was
Ultimate
I
on
was about to
that
say that.
garbage netcode.
oh,
I have a Switch and I will call Zomba out, but he has to
he
play
will.
blindfolded, one-handed.
Oh,
He has to play blindfolded, and he's already kind of playing blindfolded if he's got to play online. Because I'm telling you, that Wi-Fi netcode
it is.
is booty.
I've
The only
I've
reason
Great
played Switch.
the only
booty.
reason
Played it
Attilio
once.
can have a chance at beating me on Smash.
He's lying. He's lying.
I'm not afraid to
He's
fight
lying.
anyone and lose. So bring it on. I guess with that being said, is there anything that you guys want to finalize with like a last statement, will and testimony, transfer your power of attorney over to me, anything like that?
Excuse me.
About that.
Hmm.
That's a lot.
He's trying to get into that fourth owner
Alright.
slot.
Well, that trade, I'll accept that trade offer as long as I get, your social, bank code, birth. I'm just
I take credit.
Credit.
I
Got it.
take debit and credit.
Okay. But yeah, is there anything that you guys want to leave the organization with? Anybody from either side that is watching this, what do you want to say to them going forward? What is our flagship statement going to be? Nothing.
Dozo.
Okay.
well. No, just
Hi,
No,
Dozo.
we definitely appreciate everybody's support and the views are views. That's hearing our intentions. Don't mind my phone. I'm sorry.
I was wondering what that was.
That's his phone.
That is my phone. But yeah, appreciate everyone's support coming out, supporting the individual teams and players, and help spreading the word, getting the recognition of the organization and the players out as well. And then we just hope that we can continue receiving everybody's support and that we are putting out and living up to the standards that everyone has for us.
Do you have any final words, Tilia?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he pretty much is nailing it on the head, but
Gotcha.
we're finally going somewhere. Because for years, we were just kind of
3 years.
3 years now, we've been ups and downs and ups and downs, but now it finally seems like we're starting to really get over that final hump of we're partially relevant. Because I've got people in the Smash community, they're like, oh, yeah, we know 16-bit esports. Like, Ling Ling plays for it. Or we know him because Zomba plays. So we, at least in the Smash scene, we've got some notoriety. And heck, even in the Wild Rift community, we have notoriety ever since I've been, making a name for us in Southeast Asia and Japan. And now we're trying to break ground in North America. So we do already are kind of known, but we want to continue to push that. We want to be known in both the fighting game scene and Wild Rift, and heck, even TF2. But for
I
sure,
guess the last thing that I'll say is thank you guys. Really, thank you for bringing me on, allowing me to join the squad. It means a lot, really. Kind of just was floating out there looking for something new to do, and allowing me to come in and really open up with some of the skills that I'm capable of, and not necessarily being locked down to one thing all day long. I really appreciate it. So I'm really excited for the way that the future of this organization is going to go and the future success that's to come. Um, so if any sponsors out there are watching this or potential sponsors, we accept cash, credit, or check.
and free products.
And free products. Let me know. Send them to me first. I'll test them out and then pass them out to the rest of the crew. All right. I guess with that, we will sign off. I guess I'll see you on the Rift. That's what I usually say.
I'll see you somewhere.
I'll see y'all at some point when I'm free.
Preferably
Never.
not in a
Never.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good night.